you have social anxiety, or if you are shy around people, you are most likely to be a nice guy, right? So I'm gonna talk about 3 points here. Are you a nice guy? Why most shy guys are nice guys and have to stop being one, right? Because as crazy as it sounds, most people, I say 95% of people that have social anxiety and that are shy with other people, they tend to be nice guys. So first thing first is, are you a nice guy, right? Because nice guys and a nice guy is basically someone who tries to be good for the sake of being liked and approved, right? People see you and they're like, oh my God, he's so nice, he's so kind. But deep inside of you, you're not really happy or fulfilled or proud of yourself for being nice, because you're not doing, or you're not being nice, you're not helping people for the sake of, yeah man, I want to help people because of X, Y, and Z, or yeah man, I'm a good person, right? And I want to help people, and I want to make people feel good. The reason that you don't feel fulfilled when you are kind, nice, and a good person is because you're doing it out of fear. It's because you are helping other people because you are afraid of being rejected. It's because you're doing it out of fear. You're doing it out of anxiety, out of not being accepted and approved by others. So people can look at you and be like, "Oh wow, he's a nice guy. Oh my, yeah, look at guys, he's so nice." And they're not doing it, making fun of you or anything. But people can see that you're a good person, but you're not really fully fulfilled, and you're not fully happy when you help others because of how you are doing it, because of why you're doing it, right? Because most likely nice guys, and you can probably relate to this, they tend to think that if you help others, you're gonna get more liked. If I help you more, I'm gonna get more liked. If I do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna be more liked by others. I'm gonna be more loved by others. People are gonna think that I'm cool, right? And what happens is you're doing it out of fear of not being accepted, of not being liked, of not being able to make friends. And that's why you tend to be nice and good person, be kind with others, not because you're a good person. Well, you might be a good person, but not because you're a good person, because it's flowing from you or because you feel like being good. No, you're doing it because you're afraid of not doing so. You're doing it because you think that if you are good, if you are kind, if you're nice, you're gonna get liked, you're gonna get approved, you're gonna get loved by other people. That's why even though people think that you're good, and that's why even though you have helped people, you're not fully fulfilled. And you're not really proud of yourself because of the reason and because of why you're doing it, right? So you can probably relate to this, right? If you want to find out that you are a nice guy, my name is David Duarte, and I help shy guys in their 20s overcome the social anxiety. So I make content and I basically give you everything, the tools and everything that you need in order for you to overcome your social anxiety. But if you need my personal help to overcome your social anxiety, to stop being anxious, to stop being socially awkward, I can help you with that. If you want to be free from your social anxiety, and if you want to be able to approach the cute girl at the grocery store without feeling anxious or socially awkward, if you want to make friends at the gym and then fist bump with the guys and make the jokes without feeling like people are judging you, I can help you to do that with my help. And the best thing is that you are a few days from being free from your social anxiety. You can notice changes and you can feel more confident around people in less than 90 days. So if you need an extra help to overcome your social anxiety, I'm gonna leave a link on the description. Continue watching the video. Have this trait and you tend to do this, right? So you try really, really hard to please people and to get people to like you, right? And you avoid conflicts and hide your true feelings. You put other people's needs before your own, hoping for approval. Let me give you an example, right? Let's say you are with your girlfriend or with your friends or with your family members, and they say, "Oh, guys, let's go out. Let's go to this restaurant that we really like." But you don't really like this place, right? You think that the food sucks, the service sucks, right? This place just sucks. But the people that you're hanging out with, they really like this place. You don't like it, but you're not gonna say anything because you're trying to avoid conflict. You're not gonna confess your feelings about this place because everyone likes it. And you think that if you do, they're not gonna hang out with you anymore. You think that if you do confess your feelings and you're like, come on guys, let's go to a different place because this place sucks, I don't really like this place. If you do that, you think that they're not gonna hang out with you anymore. you think that they're gonna like you, love you anymore. And that's why you don't confess your feelings. Because you are afraid of being rejected. Because you think that if you do, you're not gonna be part of your group anymore. Or you think that your girlfriend is not gonna like you anymore. So that's why you put someone else's need above you and before you, because you're afraid of not doing so. Right? Or let's say someone asks you for help, but you are super busy, or you don't want to help them, right? But what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna help them even though you're super busy, and you're help them because you're afraid of not doing so, right? So what happens is you're gonna help this person to do X, Y, and Z, even though you don't want to do it, because if you don't do it, they're not gonna like you anymore. They're not gonna love you anymore. They're gonna hang out with you less. They're gonna like you less, right? Right? And same thing, they do something or they say something to you that you don't like, you don't say it because you avoid conflict. You hide your feelings and you put other people's needs above you, right? So what happens is when this happens is you feel frustrated. You're not fulfilled. You're not happy with your relationship, with your friendship, with your friends, with your family members, because you're doing things that you don't like and they're doing things that you don't like. Wait, yeah, and no, sorry, and they don't do things that you like, right? So, this happens to be with my brother, right? So the thing is that he hangs out with a guy who he don't really like to hang out with, and right, he avoid conflicts. He don't like to say, oh yeah, I like to go to the gym by myself, because he hides his feelings, right? He put this person, his friend needs above his own. And that's why he always end up going to the gym with this guy. And he really doesn't like to go to the gym. But he avoids conflict. And he doesn't like to be honest with him, because he thinks that he does, he's gonna hurt his feelings. He's not gonna like him anymore. And what happens is my brother ends up being upset with him. Oh my God, he ends up, he feel frustrated, resentful. I don't like to hang out with this guy because he sucks. He doesn't even work out. He's not serious. X, Y, and Z, right? And what happens is, and you are most likely to relate to this, he feels frustrated and resentful every time that he goes out with this guy to the gym, because he doesn't confess his feelings, because he's not like, hey, I like to go to a gym by myself, right? Because he avoids conflict. He doesn't like to confess his feelings, and therefore he feels frustrated. Same thing happens with you. You're like, oh my God, this person is an asshole. He asked me to help them, and I am busy. But hey, they don't know that you're busy, right? They don't know that you're that busy. So that's why you gotta confess it, right? Or they do things that you don't really enjoy doing, and you're like, oh my God, I hate to go to this place. And the worst thing is that they can feel it too. Your girlfriend can feel it too. Your friends can feel that you're not having a good time, and therefore it feels a little awkward. So that's why you gotta start to have some conflict. Not conflict like, oh fuck you, I don't want, like, but just confess your feelings. Hey man, I don't like this place. But it's super hard to do that, right? Because you think that they're not gonna like you anymore, or they're gonna like you less. So you feel frustrated with your relationship because you're not confessing your true feelings. You're not telling them what you truly like, why you don't like. You're not confessing why you feel, why you want, because you think that if you do that, they're not gonna like you anymore, right? So this comes to a belief of why most shy guys are nice guys. It's because a nice guy craves approval and acceptance and love and attention, because he lacks of it. Because if he's by himself and if he's alone, he rejects himself. And he's not truly proud of himself. He really doesn't like and love himself. And that's why you're a nice guy, because you don't love yourself. Because you relate yourself. You reject yourself. You're not proud of yourself. So that's why you're looking this love and acceptance and approval outside of you. You're looking this outside of you, and you're desperate, seeking to be approved and accepted by others, because you're not accepted by yourself, because you cannot be by yourself, right? And this is why most people that are shy guys and that have social anxiety are nice guys, because they tend to think that if you're truly yourself around people, if you are yourself, if you're your true self around people, people are going to reject you. People are not going to hang out with you anymore. Because you tend to think that people don't like who you are, therefore you have to compensate it with kindness and with being nice and with helping others, because you need a love, acceptance, and validation. It comes from the belief that you're not good enough. And this is what happens all the time, right? When you go out, when you talk to stranger friends, or maybe your girlfriend, since you believe that you are not good enough, right? This is the real you. You have to compensate it with kindness, with being nice, with helping others. If I help you, you're gonna like me more. If I do X, Y, and Z, if I buy you more stuff, you're gonna like me more. Instead of offering, hey, this is me, this is who I am, you wanna hang out with me because of who I am, we try to compensate it, and you try to compensate it with kindness and with being nice, right? Instead of having a healthy relationship with others and a healthy way to interact with other people and with being with other people, with, hey, this is me, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, these are my values, my traits, this is who I am. You're afraid to do this because you think that you're not good enough, and therefore you're gonna get rejected. Therefore you're not gonna get loved. Therefore you're not gonna be accepted with people. And if you are more yourself, people are gonna like you less, right? So you gotta understand that the root cause of social anxiety comes from the belief that you're not good enough, the belief that there's something wrong with you. That is the root cause of social anxiety. Because if they see the real me, I'm gonna get rejected. Because if they see the real me, I'm not gonna be liked because I'm not good enough, right? So you gotta compensate it with being nice and with being kind with others. And another thing that I've seen is that with people that have social anxiety, they tend to put the blame on themselves whenever someone is not in a good mood, or when someone is upset. They put the blame on themselves of how other people feel. Let's say when you go out to people, when you are out at a party or whatever the case is, when someone is upset and when someone is not having a good time, oh yeah, it's because I picked the place. Oh yeah, it's my fault because I said this or I did this, and you put the blame on you. This person is upset because of something that I said, or because it's my fault, right? That's what I've seen. This is super common with people that have social anxiety. So the question is, how can we stop being a nice guy and someone that has social anxiety? Well, you're gonna kill two birds with one stone, because the way that we stop being a nice guy is to stop believing that we're not good enough, and the way to stop being anxious around people is to stop believing that we're not good enough. But before we do that, before we change the way that we see ourselves, and before we stop believing that we're not good enough, you gotta ask yourself every single time that you interact with people, what is my purpose of interacting with this person, right? Because if you start to be more aware of this, you're gonna notice that the reason that you talk to people is to be liked, accepted, right? So when you go out and when you start to interact with people, you're most likely to suck at talking to people because you ask yourself the wrong questions. When you go out and when you are talking to people, you tend to ask yourself, how can I not embarrass myself? How can I get them and make them to like me? How can I make this person think that I'm not awkward? Does this person think that I'm attractive, right? Everything is on you, right? How can I make them think that I'm not awkward? How can this person see that I'm cool? How can I be attracted to this person? So what happens is, the purpose of interacting with people is to get them to approve, to get them to love you, to like you. So you tend to put the focus on you, and that's why you feel nervous and anxious every single time that you interact with people. So I want you to change the way that you're asking the questions. Instead of asking the wrong questions, ask the right questions when you're interacting with people. Instead of going out and be like, oh, does this person like me? Does this person think that I'm cool? Does this person think that I'm attractive? I want you to change the questions that you are asking yourself when you're talking to people. How can I have a good time with this person? How can I get to know this person? What can I do to make this person feel listened? How can I make this person feel good, right? So instead of asking me, instead of trying to receive from them their approval and acceptance, you gotta give it to them. You gotta make them feel good about themselves. You gotta get to know this person, right? Maybe they have something common. Oh, so what do you do after work? Oh yeah, so I do karate. Oh, you do karate, man? I do karate too. Oh yeah, man, I really like to do art. Oh man, I really like to do art too, right? What happens is change the purpose and change the questions that you ask every single time that you are interacting with people, and the interaction and the energy will change when you do that. Because once again, instead of focusing on you being the problem, you're focusing on them. How can I make them feel good? How can I serve them? How, instead of receive validation, you're giving them validation. You're giving them, everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to feel important. So you gotta give that to them. And like I said, we're not doing this out of sake of being nice, or we're doing this in a healthy way. We're just getting to know a person. We're just making them talk about themselves, because everyone likes to feel important and everyone likes to feel listened. So you gotta change the way that you're interacting with people. Same thing that happens to a girl, right? This is so curious, because let's say that you see a girl at the gym or at the grocery store, right? If you see this cute girl and you want to approach her and you want to give her a compliment, you put the focus on you. Oh my God, she's gonna think that I'm weird. Everyone is gonna be looking at me. If she rejects me, everyone is gonna see me. Is she gonna reject me? Oh, she's out of my league. Instead of putting the focus on you, putting it on her, right? Instead of thinking, is she thinking that I'm attractive? Put it on her, and the energy will change, right? Because think about this. Maybe she's not feeling herself. Maybe she's on her period and she is outside, maybe at the grocery store, and she's like, oh my God, I look weird, right? My hair is weird, this and that. She wants to feel good. But since you could give her a compliment and make her feel good, hey, I think that you're cute. This is gonna make her day, because she's not feeling herself, because she doesn't feel good at the moment. And if you give her the compliment, you're serving her. You're making her feel good, and the focus is on her, and you're gonna make her day. You're gonna make her feel good. But you don't do it, and you're not serving others because you're too focused on yourself. Oh, she's gonna reject me. She's gonna make me feel bad. She's gonna make me feel anxious. Other people are listening, instead of giving the compliment for the sake of putting the focus on herself. And if you give her the compliment, maybe she will reject you, but you're gonna make her feel good. But you're gonna make her day. You're gonna make her feel good about herself. Oh my God, I was not feeling myself, but this guy approached me, gave me a compliment, and this makes me feel good. Once again, just because you're changing the focus and you're changing the interaction and the purpose with people, right? And another thing is, if you're a nice guy, I want you to start practicing disagreeing with people. And I don't want you to be an asshole. I don't want you to be crazy, like, oh, I disagree because of, right, for no reason. But if they are like, if they give their opinion, just disagree with them. Oh, I disagree with this because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, I think that I should do this. What do you think? I disagree, man. Or they're talking about something that you don't like, and they're like, oh, so what do you think? Would you be able to do this? Or, yeah, I really like, I don't know, pizza. Oh, I don't, man. I don't really like pizza because of X, Y, and Z, right? I want you to start disagree little by little, and you'll see that people are not going to stop hanging out with you, or people are not going to like you less just because you disagree with them, right? Once again, you're being yourself, and you're confessing your feelings to other people about certain things, and people are going to appreciate that. People are going to get to know you more because you're being yourself. And another thing is, I want you to understand the differentiation concept, which is every time that you go out, I want you to separate yourself from people, because if they say something, if they do something, if they like something, you like it too, right? I want you to differentiate yourself, separate yourself from them, and understand that they have their own story, they have their own opinions, beliefs, thoughts, desires, values, and opinions, and you have yours too, right? What are those opinions about certain things? What are your values? What are your desires, your thoughts, your dreams, your beliefs? Write them down. Get to know them. And once you get to know them, once you know them, you are able to separate yourself. And it's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have a different mindset than other people, because this is how healthy relationships work. This is how healthy friendships work. Not everyone has to agree with everything that you say. And and you don't have to agree with everything that they say. You don't have to like everything that they say. And the opposite is true. They don't have to like everything that you do and say, or agree with everything that you say either, right? So this is a healthy relationship. Separate yourself and understand that you have your own opinions, values, desires, thoughts, and beliefs, and they have their own too, right? So another thing that I want you to do is, if you don't feel like going out, if you don't feel like helping other people, if you don't feel like doing X, Y, and Z just because you have things to do, or just because you want to go out with your friends instead of your girlfriend, just say to yourself, I'm not responsible for your feelings. Yeah, they might be, I don't know, disappointed or sad that you're not going out with them at the moment or not today, but you're not responsible for the feelings, right? I want you to say this every single time that you're gonna disagree with someone or every time that you're not gonna do or help them. I'm not responsible for your feelings. And this doesn't mean that you're gonna be an asshole. This doesn't mean that you're gonna be cruel with them or fuck you, I'm not responsible, I'm gonna be an asshole. This doesn't make you being an asshole, but this is just you're setting a boundary for yourself. I don't really feel like going out with this person because my mom invited me to this place and I really want to go, or I really want to go to this party, but my friend is inviting me to this place, or I feel like going to a gym by myself and I really want to go with this person. Hey, I'm not responsible for your feelings. You're not gonna say it, but you're gonna think about this, right? I'm not responsible for your feelings. Hey man, you can make a joke, right? No man, I want to go to a gym by myself because the gym is sacred to me, right? You're gonna make a joke. Maybe they're gonna get upset, but like I said, say this to yourself: I'm not responsible for your feelings, right? Like I said, separate yourself. They are one person, and you are a person too. You have your own desires, beliefs, values, opinions, and that's why you have to be able to say them, right? And last thing is, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. So you gotta change this belief. I'm not good enough. So the way to be your true self around people is to believe that you're good enough. Is to believe and love yourself, right? Stop attacking yourself. The way to change this belief is to stop attacking yourself. Fuck the shoots. Oh, I should have done X, Y, and Z. I shouldn't feel anxious around people. You see, I am a nice guy and I shouldn't feel like that. Hey, fuck the shoots. Stop attacking yourself and be more compassionate toward yourself. Celebrate your wins. What wins do you have? Right? Make a list of your wins. The times that you got up early. The times that you approach a girl. The time that... Every single thing that makes you proud of yourself, have a list. I have a list right here, right? Have the list, and every single morning or every single time try to read the list, and you'll see that you are good enough. You'll see that you are a great person because you have traits, you have strength, you have values. But now you might be like, oh, I'm not good at anything, or I'm a boring person. Instead of thinking like that, disagree with it and find evidence and find ways that you are good enough, that you are cool, that you are good at talking to people, that you're not the awkward, that you have something to offer to people. Instead of focusing on why you're not good enough and why you are boring, and you can tell me a whole list of the reason that you are boring or that people don't want to hang out with you. Instead of finding evidence or reason that people don't want to hang out with you, find ways and find evidence. Make a list of your wins and celebrate them. Why you are good enough, right? Because right now you're good, and if you change the way that you see yourself, if you start to give acceptance, approval, and love, validation to yourself, you're not longer you will no longer need people's approval, validation, and love because you're giving it to yourself. And that's how you're gonna kill two birds with one stone. Like I said, if you need help with social anxiety, I'm gonna leave a link in the description so that you can be free from social anxiety. And it only takes you a few days from overcoming your social anxiety and from being the best version of yourself. So if you really want to be free from social anxiety, if you want to be confident and approach the girl at the grocery store without feeling anxious or weird, I'm gonna leave a link in the description if you need an extra help. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like it, and